we have become overly dependent on someone like Jasprit Bumrah, and we've seen there's been a huge gap in the fast bowling battery at this point in time. Funnily enough, one can't put a finger on why. We don't know if it's the leadership group. The series has been decided. We lose 3-1 against Australia, and congratulations to Australia on their victory and qualifying to the finals of the WTC, and they're going to be playing South Africa. So let's begin with India's batting. I remember, I think, before the test series, when I was doing the preview for the test series, I said India is genuinely missing a batter, and a batter like Cheteshwar Pujara for me was a huge miss in this series. And along the way, we heard that the captain wanted him. I think it was, I'm not sure if it's speculation or if it's actually true, but Cheteshwar Pujara was certainly a very big miss in this test series, a batter of his caliber. He has the ability to hold one end up, and we didn't have that in this entire test series. Outside of KL Rahul in the first 2 or 3 test matches, there's no one there to kind of hold one end up for India. Shubman Gill's form has been a cause of concern as well. He's had a pretty poor outing outside of India in the recent past. I think the last time he travelled to Australia, he did fairly well. He got, that was obviously his debut series as well. And after that, his numbers outside of India have not been really great. As far as Virat Kohli is concerned, I think one of his leanest series in Australia, 100 and nothing else to take home about. Every innings outside of that 100, he's gotten caught in the slips, not behind the stumps. So it's a genuine cause for concern for someone like Virat Kohli. I mentioned it. I think the fact that his bat is coming from the wicketkeeper and not from his natural position, given that he's a bottom-handed player, I think he needs that loop in his bat swing, and I don't think that exists at this point in time. He's just going one direction and is also losing a lot of power because of that, and his bat ends up opening because he's trying to play, and he naturally plays a lot more with his bottom hand. And so the bat tends to open up. So every time he's playing a defensive shot and the bat's opening up, he's getting caught behind the stumps. So this has been a cause for his undoing in the recent past. And the fact that we did not have Bumrah after a certain point in this test match, while he was there, he was venomous as usual, and we have become overly dependent on someone like Jasprit Bumrah, and we've seen there's been a huge gap in the fast bowling battery at this point in time. Funnily enough, one can't put a finger on why. We don't know if it's the leadership group hasn't figured it out yet, but I think you need a really solid pace battery because fast bowlers get injured quite a bit. It's just the nature of the trade, the lack of quality and the lack of form, I would say, from Siraj. Despite him being amongst the wickets, I think Siraj has tried his level best. You can see that, I would give him 10 on 10 for effort and enthusiasm, but I just think there's been a lack of form despite him trying his best. I think whatever he's been able to perform in this series, despite his lack of form, has been pure manifestation, and pure sheer will to put out some great performances. And you could see him being, seeming a little bit dangerous on a wicket like this, simply because of the dents that were formed on this wicket, and he was pretty dangerous. And so was Prasidh Krishna when he was accurate, when he was disciplined with his line and lengths. He was, pretty dangerous. But one of the issues with Prasidh Krishna in red ball cricket is his inconsistencies, and perhaps which is also why he didn't get an opportunity early on in this test series. But if he can figure that part out, where he can be disciplined and be very good and consistent with his lengths, because he's got a strength. He hits the deck pretty hard given his height and bowling action. But if he's able to master the back of a length and just kind of release the ball there, especially when the wicket has so much of help, I'm certain he can be a very, very dangerous bowler. But I think the undoing of giving us a chance to perhaps win this game, given the fact that this wicket was so dangerous, unpredictable, would have been that first 2.5, 3 overs where we were just wayward, and a start like that can blow the wind out of your sails no matter how much you amp yourself up to try and win a game. The lack of venom in our fast bowling outside of Jasprit Bumrah, I think the narrative has revolved so much around Bumrah, and so much was dependent on Bumrah, and we spoke about it. We spoke about the fact that Bumrah's a frontline bowler. We'll need guys like Prasidh Krishna and Siraj to turn up. Similar case with Harshit Rana as well and Prasidh Krishna as well. I personally thought Nitish Kumar Reddy was under-bowled in this series. I think he could have been bowled a lot more. Washington Sundar was under-bowled while he played after Ashwin left the side. Jadeja, again, I thought was not used as much. And I think roles weren't defined, to be very honest, as far as bowlers were concerned. I think when you have an attacking bowler like Bumrah there, you want someone to play a defensive role at the other end and keep it quiet. Shami does that very, very beautifully, and he doesn't need to bowl outside the off stump to keep it quiet, but he bowls within the line of the stumps, and they, more often than not, batters kind of hit and miss against him quite a bit, which only adds more pressure when someone like Bumrah is bowling. Harshit Rana, I think, looks good. However, consistency needs to be worked on, so he'll probably get there over a period of time. And then we've heard from Rohit Sharma that he's not moving on, and like I kind of suggested during the course of this test match, I think he's not going to call quits. I think he's still going to play. That throws another spanner in the works as far as the 11 is concerned. Now, where will KL Rahul bat? Where will Shubman Gill bat? When Rohit Sharma comes back into this side. So as far as the batting order is concerned, obviously we don't know what's going to happen. But I think, in my opinion, KL looks really good at the top of the order. And, when he and Yashasvi batted, they batted really well together, especially abroad. And you want to be able to be successful abroad to be able to give yourself that chance, because in the next test cycle, that's going to be important. And will Rohit Sharma play through the entire test cycle, the next one? We don't really know. So we need to really finalize in that top three. So in my opinion, I think KL Rahul should bat at the top of the order, because that's where he thrives. And that's where he scored most of his runs to even get to play for India. There have been some positives in this test series. Yashasvi Jaiswal has been phenomenal with the bat. I thought he stood out head and shoulders above every other batter. Sorry guys, I have a guest. My little one came on. Outside of Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul's been pretty good. He's been pretty good. When he opened the batting, he did really, really well. Changed his position to accommodate for Rohit Sharma, and then came back on and wasn't able to find rhythm again. That's where it leaves us in this series. Nitish Kumar Reddy has been great as well. I thought again the first three test matches was exceptional, but his batting has been really, really good. I think India have found an all-rounder in him for test cricket. However, there's ways to go for him as well. He need to develop himself more as an all-rounder. And Jadeja has been underused in this series, and so has Washington Sundar. Been underused in the series. Outside of that, India have a few issues to kind of negotiate. Leadership group, a lot of the controversy that's been going on. A lot of people said a lot of things about, okay, is it true? You're speaking on speculation. I think I've been around the block quite a bit to know that what is speculation and what isn't. But whatever we hear, to a large degree, there isn't any smoke without there being some fire. So we know that it is true to a large extent. So Gautam Gambhir and his coaching staff will have to figure out, red ball cricket, because they've had a bad loss at home, a 3-0 loss, a whitewash against New Zealand, and then followed up with a 3-1 loss to Australia in the Border Gavaskar series. And Australia have actually won the Border Gavaskar series for the first time after 10 years. So a lot to work out for Gautam Gambhir and his group. As far as red ball cricket is concerned, I think white ball cricket, they're pretty sorted. I also think that's the case because I think he's got a lot more control of the entire narrative with white ball cricket, but not so much. And I don't think that's the case with red ball cricket. Gautam Gambhir and his leadership group have done really well with white ball cricket. They still have to figure out their ways as far as red ball cricket is concerned, and it's good. There's room for improvement. I think 2024 has been an exceptional year for Indian cricket. And yes, there's going to be a little bit of a low. You can't go through the highs without going through the valleys. So I think that's what's happened. I think in the long run, we're going to be fine. So that's all on this episode. I will see you guys soon on the next one. Until then, bye.